The SEC championship between Georgia and Alabama will be played here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium on Saturday. And to get a little glimpse behind enemy lines, I am joined by our features writer, Gabe Burns, who spent some time in Tuscaloosa. Gabe, what is Alabama's mindset going into this game?
Well, first of all, they fielded a lot of questions about the committee and what would happen if they won. They tried to dismiss that. They're looking at this as the best team we've played all year. That's what Nick Saban said, and obviously they played a Texas team that's in the mix for the playoffs as well. But so they're looking at this, they're saying this is the best team we faced. They're not talking about what happened a couple of years ago. There are some guys left, obviously, from that team that lost to Georgia in the national championship. But it's going to be really interesting to see because this Bama team is not the same Bama team that it was in September, and they're going to have something for them.
Leading rusher for Alabama, Jace McClellan, is out. If you're Georgia, how much of a relief is that for you?
Well, it helps. I mean, every little bit helps because, again, we're going to, obviously Georgia's got their own injury issues they're dealing with. Every little bit is going to matter in this game. I think it's probably going to be a game that's one possession. So, anyone that's out, you'll take it.
If you're Alabama going into this game, do you think they're thinking at all? It seems like a lot of people are thinking the pressure's on Georgia, and it is because they're the higher ranked team. They're the favorite. But Alabama has never lost to this Georgia team in the SEC championship. Does that at all inspire confidence for them, or is it just a non-issue?
I know what Saban would say here. I know what the players would say here, but he's the king of Atlanta, right? He's 10-1 in SEC championships here. He's won 16 straight in Atlanta. So
that's such a dagger of a stat.
I know. I mean, why not? Why not take that and use it for some confidence?
Jalen Milroe is a guy Georgia's big time going to have to look out for, especially if Jamon Dumas-Johnson, linebacker, likely doesn't play. How much of a factor could he be in this game? And if you're Georgia, what do you do to try to limit the damage?
Well, he's having a great year. And when he made that throw against Auburn, he was yelling, "Give me the Heisman." Too late of a start for him to be in those discussions. But, I mean, look, the way he deserves so much credit. This is a guy threw 2 interceptions, struggled in that loss to Texas. He's benched for the USF game. He's come back. They're 9-0. He has 16 touchdowns against 4 picks. He's had a couple games where he's run for over 100 yards. His legs were key in their win over LSU. He's a dynamic player. We heard Kirby Smart comparing him with Lamar Jackson. What do you say, a bigger, more physical Lamar Jackson? This guy, I mean, he's going to be the toughest quarterback that Georgia has faced this year, and it's mainly the improvisational ability, the way he's able to create off script. It's just hard to account for a guy like that, and again, he just deserves a world of credit for how he's progressed.
After the game against Florida, you and I talked about how Carson Beck led the offense in that game, and we were so impressed. Little did we know Carson Beck would continue to impress us and get better each and every week since then. What have you seen from Beck since then in the kind of the second half of the season? And if you're the Bulldogs, what do you need from him in this game?
He has so much confidence, and he's making some of these tight throws. Like, he's made several, again, I think I said this back after the Florida game, but you expect him to make several wow throws a game now. And that's why you continue to hear the NFL buzz that continues to increase, because this is a guy that's doing everything that you would want out of a professional quarterback. He's operating the offense, he's spreading the ball, he's making these throws into tight windows. He's not, and Kirby has mentioned this too, he's not trying to force anything. He knows when to take what the defense is giving him. And you keep hearing just rave reviews of his leadership. It's going to be a challenge against this Alabama pass rush. I think that they have the ability to disrupt him in ways he has not been disrupted this year, and frankly, I think that's the key to the game.
Like you mentioned before, in terms of could Alabama get in, could there not be an SEC team potentially in the playoff if Georgia loses? What is your kind of gauge of that? Does Georgia need to win this game to be in the college football playoff?
I'm not sure. I'm like everyone else, right? If Alabama wins, they absolutely should be in. If Georgia loses, then you're going to start debating them against, if Texas wins, they're going to have an argument, well, we beat Alabama. And then my take is I would have both of them in, because bottom line, if Alabama beats Georgia, those are 2 of your best 4, period. And no offense to Florida State, I'm sorry, it's not fair, but your quarterback gets hurt. We'll see how they look against Louisville, but and that's going to like everyone brings up Ohio State. I mean, Cardell Jones beat Wisconsin 59-0 in that game.
Yeah.
So, and there's word that Tate Rodemaker might not even play this weekend. So we'll see again with FSU. But as it stands right now, I can't argue FSU is a better team than Georgia, and certainly not Alabama if they win. So it's going to be a fascinating weekend, and this would have been a great year to have the 12-team playoff.
I know.
'Cause, you know, some of the, like the loser of Washington, Oregon, right? I mean, some of these teams deserve to be in, but I mean, again, if Bama beats Georgia, I think both of them should be in because I think they'd be 2 of the top 4.
It's so hard to put up resume against, well, who are the actual best teams? It's so difficult to kind of balance all that. Last one for you real quick. Give me your X factor in this game.
Oh, X factor for Alabama. It would be too obvious to go quarterback, so I'm going to go Dallas Turner because, again, I go back to the pass rush. They have a chance to really disrupt Georgia, and this is going to be the best unit that Georgia's faced this year. So we'll see how Dallas Turner does. He's going to be a first-round pick. He's a great edge rusher for them. And then for Georgia, it's kind of who is going to play, right?
Injury-wise.
But I'm just going to stick with the same. I'm just going to say the entire offensive line. Like, how's this O-line going to play against this Alabama pass rush? Are they going to give Carson Beck time? Because we've seen Carson Beck when he's on and when he has time, he's been pretty unbelievable. So we'll see how that plays out.
We'll see you guys back here Saturday for the SEC Championship. Thanks to all of you for watching. Make sure you go to ajc.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel to find more videos just like this one.